Hey, numbers guy here again, and we're going to cover the 2011 Breeders' Cup Sprint. This is one of my favorite races, and it almost always produces some very, very fast figs. Last year, the race was won by Amazombi with Force Freeze second, and the favorite Jackson Bend checking in third in a very swift clock. And you can see the numbers they earned were very, very low numbers. -1, -0.8. Those are very, very fast numbers. Amazombi surprised me a bit in this race because he did move quite a bit forward. The best he'd run previously was in October, where he won a grade 1 at Santa Anita, ran a 4.3. But you can see his pattern is a very, very strong pattern. Um, Going back earlier in the year, he'd actually regressed a little bit to a 6.6, and then from there he just takes small steps forward. 5.5, 5.1 in July, a little bit of time off, comes back, wins the ancient title, runs a 4.3, and he's just primed to keep on increasing. These small moves forward often lead to big jumps forward, and in this case he did, and he scored at 7-1. A bit of a surprise to me anyway, and but certainly Amazombi is a very tough horse. The horse I actually liked in this race a lot was Force Freeze. He'd been running in Europe and then came over. First race here ran a 0.1, which again is really fast. 0.2. I expected with that kind of time off and to run two top-notch races like that he'd run good again, and he did. He came in second at almost 7-1 to Amazombi. The horse that came in third, Jackson Bend, I actually thought they should have put him in the mile race. Now, Jackson Bend had some very, very fast numbers. Going back earlier in his form, he had a 6.5, improved down to a 4, and then all the way down to a 0.1. And that 0.1 was the forego at 7 furlongs, though. He's just a horse that comes from a little bit off the pace. He then backed up a little bit in the Uncle Mo race going a mile. And he certainly ran well here, but he just did not look like a horse that was going to jump forward, and I don't think he really deserved to be the favorite. 5-2 favorite. There was just so many other fast horses in here that anyway, he ran okay. I personally would have recommended that they run him in the mile. A couple others in here that looked like they were going to run well. Big Drama. The only problem with him is that it looks okay. His last race he ran a 2.2, but you can see that it was a long time before between races for this guy, Big Drama. And last year he'd run 2.4, 4.0, comes down here, runs a 2.2, but he just looks like a horse that's got some physical problems. And he disappointed as the 3-1 second choice, ran up the track. Giant Ryan's another one that had some very, very low numbers. You can see it. Giant Ryan actually had a beautiful pattern come in here. I think every race he actually improved. So 17.7 down to 14.3, down to 9.5, down to 8.9. So he's on a steady improvement here. Keeps improving. 5.1, 4.2, 3.2. This is actually astonishing. And then he has some time off and then improves again. Takes a big step forward. Just going from a 3.2 to a 0.2. He jumps ahead by 3.5 points. And a move like that sometimes takes a lot out of the horse, and makes him a prime bounce candidate. And bounce he did, 9.3. Euro ears, same kind of sketchy looking pattern. Back in January he ran a very, very fast 1, and then a lot of time off, and he bounces or regresses off that 3.7, and then regresses again to 12.1. These are not the kind of patterns that you're going to expect that a horse is going to move forward on. And he brings up the rear, runs at 12.9. Regardless of the connections being Baffert, it's just not the pattern that you look for. So, again, the winner, a very fast Amazombi, And, oops, sorry. Okay, and Amazombie checks in with a -1-0. Again, his pattern is that forward moving pattern, very, very strong. So 7-1 winner with a forward moving pattern, very strong, and probably as strong a looking pattern as anyone had in the race. We'll be back with the next race coming up.